Ask Reddit by Jim Bautista. Do you fart in front of your partner? Why? Why not? Cute but kinda sad story. My grandma and grandpa were together for 40 years. My grandma never farted in front of him ever. She was diagnosed with cancer and after a good battle was sent home on hospice. The day before she passed she farted in front of him. It wasn't loud and it really stunk but we all knew it was her. My grandpa didn't even blink and apologized to us and took the blame. It was something small but it's been years since it happened and it still gives me that awe feeling. He knew how she felt and her stance about farting in front of her partner. Oh my god, how can a farting story make me tear up? An embarrassed older lady visited her doctor for help with a problem. Doctor, I don't know what's wrong, but I fart all the time. It's strange because they are both silent and odorless, but they keep coming out. In fact, I farted about 6 times just sitting here. What can I do? The doctor replied, here, take one of these pills every morning and then come see me in a week. A week later, the old lady came back to the doctor very upset. Doctor, those pills didn't help, they made it worse. I'm still farting, but now they stink horribly. The doctor replied, but now that we've cleared your sinuses, we can work on your hearing. Deleted. No. I fart behind my partner, so it sneaks up on her. Yes, and then I say fuck, is it just me or I smell popcorn? Do you smell it too? Not purposely. I might have an accident every now and then. Like lifting something heavy. Deleted. I mean, according to the comments in our house, it's always the dog's. But yes I do. We're married. I wasn't about to spend the rest of my life hiding a very natural bodily function. He also knows that I poop. I tried blaming it on the dog. She keeps saying we don't have one, except me. Yes. Sometimes I do it by accident, sometimes I do it intentionally. When my partner visits, when we are in bed and we get quiet because we're trying to sleep, I'll randomly let one rip after about 10 minutes of silences and then we'll burst out laughing. Farts are always funny. The louder and longer they better. If the farts don't stink, 100%. If they are peeling the paint off the walls, no. Nobody wants to exist in your stink. You know if your farts will stink ahead of time? Very rarely. I mean, I won't die of embarrassment, but I also won't do it out of respect for the fact that nobody else wants to smell that. The kids though, I fart on them a lot. Deleted. My partner does because he can let out small, non-offensive ones where he just says excuse me and moves on. I have stomach issues, though, so it's not all cutesy for me. I'm never just going to let it out in front of him. I won't willingly in front of anyone. My husband will set each bubble in his tummy free. Except while I am eating. Lines have been drawn. I, however, don't let them loose in front of anyone. I think it's rude, it's how I was raised. But, after 20+ years together, he says all he wants for his birthday or anniversary is for me to let it rip willingly. So, now I won't because it has built up into too much. Lol. Don't get me wrong, 1 or 2 have gotten away while I slept, and he will literally wake me up all excited exclaiming that it must be his birthday. He is such a dork. No, but I also try not to do it in front of anyone if I can help it. The smell isn't pleasant obviously, so I prefer to go an empty room or the bathroom so no one else has to smell it. No embarrassment factor or anything, just don't want to subject people to a stink unnecessarily. You are quite decent. No, and for a really weird reason. When I was growing up, my cousins constantly farted. On each other, on me, out in public, obviously in their home. I found it so gross that I swore I'd never fart in front of anyone if I could help it. I've been married for 11 years and I think I farted in front of my husband 3 or 4 times. My ex-GF farted once in front of me and it was when she was asleep for years. Some people are really good at holding them in but not me. I will hold in a good fart and go find my wife to present it to her. Present. Fantastic. Dear Lord no, but let me tell you about the infestation of barking spiders that follows me around. We have a massive invisible ducks and elephants in our house. Deleted. Amen. I commented elsewhere that I have vibes, so someone that's weird about farts isn't someone for me. No, I have diarrhea. Yes, but not too much. I did it with my ex and he started getting gross with it. Farting basically every 20 minutes we were together to get a laugh. Last time I talked to him he told me he had a fart kink now. So, glad that's over. But not going to laugh if it is too much in my maybe next relationship. Didn't realize that fart kink is a thing. I was on a red-eye flight 3 weeks ago, big huge guy in the center seat next to me. Your ex-BF would have been rock hard for the entire flight because that guy farted about 1,000 times. Not at all the time, but there are times when a dry trumpet blast makes us laugh so hard our sides hurt. Then there are the tiny poker chips. All in good fun. Yes, because it's funny. Same, my husband and I fart in front of each other whenever we got one. Started probably about a month into our relationship. Nope. Small house and lots of lactose intolerance on both sides. My daughter doesn't give a shit though. In this context, I would hope she doesn't. Honestly, I try not to do it in front of anyone, but especially not the woman who I'm trying to bang later in the day. Everyone farts, but that doesn't mean you have to flaunt your flatulence. We've been married 12 years, not much we haven't done in front of each other. PS, we still like fucking. I'm really surprised at the number of no's in this thread. No, I was indoctrinated to be ladylike. No burping either, lol. I try not to. Appreciate the same. Nobody's mad if it happens, but after 12 years of marriage, I like the unofficial policy. The fewer stinks I need to experience, the better. Hubby seems to agree. That's just us. By all means, others can toot at each other all day and night though. I'm not judging. I try not to. I don't. Apparently her ex was a real piece of shit and used to use that as a way to fuck with her. Cut one in the car and lock the windows, depriving her of fresh air, Dutch ovens in bed, etc. Knowing that, I'm not afraid to pass gas in front of her. I just try to be discreet and mature about it out of respect for her. She was married to that asshole for 2 decades. She's injured enough. A lot of men are currently admitting to that in the comments. Her sense of smell has been irreparably damaged. At my age, not on purpose. If we can't fart freely around each other, then that's not a lasting relationship for me. Home is the one place I wanna be able to fart without fear. I can't believe people don't fart in front of their partner. We let them rip in this house. Wild west of ripping ass. My M27 partner, F30, farts way more than I do. She is just a gassy person. When we started dating, she told me she would always hold it in, but the first time she did it, I giggled and just said toot. And now we bully each other every time either of us hear the other fart. Louder the fart, louder the toot. She hates it because I have much better hearing than her and can usually hear her fart upstairs while I am downstairs. I just tell up toot and receive a how the fuck did you hear that in response. We love each other a lot. I feel like part of dating my wife is treating her company as I would any fine piece of ass I'm trying to get into. No, been married 7 years. BC, it's gross and I'm kind of a prude when it comes to bodily functions. if I'm being perfectly honest. Note, I do not expect the same of my partner. I'm just too self-conscious, myself. Nice username lol. We both do because we are only human. If it's really bad, we try to avoid dropping any bombs around each other. But sometimes it's a battlefield. I make my boyfriend run into the hall to fart if he has a case of the paint strippers. No, because I always want to show my wife that she is worth the effort of being polite in front of her. She does the same for me. There has to be some mystery in the relationship. That being said, both of us have let slip a few times, and it's never a big deal. At this point in the relationship it's almost competitive, haha. If we didn't fart in front of each other we would never be in the same room. Just 10 minutes ago I farted the opening notes of the classic Super Mario song after yelling Super Mario and my wife laughed while clapping. Wouldn't have it any other way. No, and I'm married. I'm not uptight and have a pretty rough sense of humor, but casually farting all the time is rude and to me unattractive. If it happens occasionally I don't care, but farting casually and unself-consciously is anti-sexy and I pass. No, filling the air with feces particles in front of the person I love is just not my vibe. We share many things, but that just doesn't need to be one of them. Healthy boundaries, that's all I'm saying. I don't, but sometimes can't hold it in, or it squeaks out accidentally. She never, ever farts in front of me and my son. But one time, I walked into the kitchen, and very clearly someone had let one rip. It wasn't our son, since he was playing on his iPad on the couch. I sniffed a couple times, then looked at her and asked, "Did you fart?" And she cracked up laughing. It was so effing funny because I caught her crop dusting when she thought she was going to get away with it. Yes, VC, I'm an adult. No chemical warfare is banned by international accords. I wouldn't punish my worst enemy with one of my farts. I don't. Not purposefully anyways. Not even in front of my kids. It's a respect thing for me. https://i.imgur.com/bykb7v.jpg. I never do. No, it's simple enough to just go to the other room. I don't fart a lot, so I imagine if I were very gassy it'd be more inconvenient. He does the same thing. We just don't want to stink the person out when you can avoid it so easily.